you care to say which direction you're heading when that gate opens?
Listen, one time I let my kids choose, and it was the Tomorrowland Speedway. And I was
no.
pissed.
Don't do that.
No, don't do
That's
that.
the wrong choice.
That's a terrible choice.
It shows
It's my kid's dreams of driving, right? Don't do that.
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Knotcast, presented by Knot Club 33. On the show today, we're talking Lightning Lane versus rope dropping at Magic Kingdom in 2025. My name is Steve Rhodes. With me today, it's Pat Neistat.
What's up?
As always, Becky Wells is here.
Hey.
And so is the Disney cynic, Bobby Burchins.
Do you guys know that an ultra crepidarian is someone who gives an opinion on something that they know absolutely nothing about?
That's a
Somehow
hell of a term.
Got some comments, but
that's a hell of a term. Are we sure that you're not one of those? And we need to fact check that term. I'm going to look it up. Because we're just blindly following. We're like, none of this ever gets fact checked. We don't put it on the screen. I'm not looking it up.
This sounds like a problem for future Steve. That's all I'm saying.
Not looking it up. You folks at home, you can fact check into that. Today, what we're going to check on is whether or not we think you should rope drop or just buy Lightning Lane at the Magic Kingdom in 2025. A couple years ago, we did a show on whether rope dropping was worth the time. And that was when there was, I don't even know if FastPass existed at the time. It might have been that dead time when there was no other option.
In the long ago.
Yes. Now you can skip the lines either via Lightning Lane multi-pass. You can buy some individual Lightning Lanes, or you can even do that Premier Pass where you can skip the lines without a reservation. Or you can do the old school way and just show up before park opens and wait in line and try to do things that way. Who wants to start off the show with their thoughts on the method for the madness at Magic Kingdom?
I'll go.
Becky.
There it is.
Rope drop, head back, come back for closing. I'm not paying extra.
Ooh. So how
get
early...
as much as you can get done. As much as you can get done before 10 or 10:30, you can get a lot done.
Okay.
If you don't want to be there in the middle of the day, cool. Come back later.
So just say it's a day Magic Kingdom opens at 9. What time are you arriving at Magic Kingdom?
Arriving? 9 is open for early entry because I'm going to be on property. So
Yeah. So say you can get there at 8. Public is 9. So what time are you getting there? Yeah.
8 is fine because by 8:30 I'll be where I need to be and on whatever ride I want to be on. I don't need to be there at 7:30. I don't need to be family of the day. I don't.
Okay. So half hour before resort guests can get in, you think you should be showing up to Magic Kingdom.
You're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting to get in at that point anyway because the lines will be going. But once you're in, if you are smart and make your strategy, you just knock out a whole bunch of rides. And then as it starts to completely fill up, get out.
Do you care to say which direction you're heading when that gate opens?
Listen, one time I let my kids choose, and it was the Tomorrowland Speedway. And I was pissed.
No. Don't do that.
No, don't do
That's
that.
the wrong choice.
That's a terrible choice.
It shows
It's my kid's dreams of driving, right? Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I can't even say to go to Big Thunder because that's not an option, but that's where we go. Like Pirates, Big Thunder. Like we head back.
Adventureland, right?
Adventureland, and then Frontier, and then loop it around. And that's how we do it. Don't do the Speedway, really, ever.
No.
But if you do it right, you can even get to Space Mountain before that gets too long of a line just by knocking out everything and going the back part of the park.
Sure. So
and then come back in the evening. And
yeah, you're leaving before lunchtime, it sounds like. And then when you say evening, if the park closes at 10, what time are you returning?
I'll come back 4:30, 5, depending on if I'm like cooking supper in our room, which is common. We would eat first and then head back for.
Okay.
And we usually try to maximize it on a day, evening hours if they have the extended couple hours for deluxe
Yeah.
resorts, we'll do that. And you can get a little more out of it that way. So yeah.
And then how do you handle something like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train where there's pretty much always a line except for rope drop? Do you just skip it?
Yeah.
Okay. I had to check.
In the past, we have headed to that straight away once as a family. Yeah. And it was like, man, we are wasting so many other rides right now, but we're going to get this out of the way. So we don't care anymore. My kids are like, that ride is not a great coaster. Let's move on. So,
oh, Pat, I know you don't fully agree with Becky's assessment as someone who notoriously purchases the Lightning Lane multi-pass.
Right. Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on the Magic Kingdom, your strategy here.
Magic Kingdom, especially if you're not familiar with the park and stuff like that, I think buying the multi-pass is your best bet to ride the most attractions in a day. For me, no, I'm not rope dropping. I'll get my. They have it set up now where you get 3 passes. You get 2 tiers. You get 1 from the top tier, 2 from the bottom tier, and you just try to get them. Like, say, if I want to be in the park at 10 o'clock, I'll get 1 from 9 to 10, and then 10 to whatever. And then once you use them, then you can just keep on getting different ones.
And are you supplementing with the individual selections as well, or?
So the way we did it this time, we spent 3 different times in Magic Kingdom. We bought the multi-pass once, and then the other time we bought the single, and we just kind of bummed around and really didn't have any objective to get on any rides. So
what singles did you buy?
We bought. Well, I had my mom with me, so she didn't ride. She has never ridden any of them, so we got Tron and the Mine Train, and she loved the Mine Train. She loved Snow White. She loved the dark part of it. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I mean, you're spending a little bit extra money, but especially if you don't go all the time, I think it's if you want to try to go through everything, it's really the only way to do it. Especially, it depends on what time of the year you're there. Like, we're there at Christmas. You couldn't get up there early and go and get on every attraction. I mean, the lines get so packed, and even in the evening they're packed.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of parameters that make the answer different, I think.
It does.
Like, it totally depends on a lot of things. My general preference is what I said, but pass is totally feasible and understandable depending on how many people
one time we went in and
just
one day we were in there in the morning and we didn't because we were going to go on Tiana's. We had the what do you call it, the virtual queue, and it broke down, so that's the only thing we were going to do that day. And we just walked around and went on Tom Sawyer's Island or something. But
if you're staying at the Poly or one of the monorail hotels, after you've maybe bought the multi-pass for one day, you don't need it for the rest of the trip, and you're just kind of going in and seeing what you see, and maybe every night you're back in the Magic Kingdom just cleaning up on things that you didn't get to see on your big Magic Kingdom day. So there's obviously, it's not a end all be all. You don't have to pick one or the other, but I like that you use kind of the multi-pass plus the singles and then plus nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we've been on everything. So since we had my mom with us, it kind of changed what we were doing a little bit. Sure. But
so, Bobby, for you as a local and someone that hates the paid lightning lane and does not like to rope drop because you're not getting up that fucking early, I assume you'll have a little bit more of a nuanced answer to this question.
Actually, Becky did point something out, that it is all about your frame of reference and who you're traveling with and everything like that, right? Because you do want to make sure that the needs of the vacation are met. So if riding every single attraction is important to you, hang on just 1 second. Sorry.
What was
Okay.
that?
I suggested you buy the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, and then you can ride every single attraction. Because then you get to ride every single attraction once. You're entitled to that with Premier Pass. That's what I would suggest doing. In fact, I would get up and do rope drop at 7:30 a.m. So that you can be the first family.
He just did a line of Pixie.
Can you
dust.
say that a little faster? Can you say it a little bit faster?
Is that how is that how that works?
Yeah, I feel great, guys.
Oh man,
I think if you got the money, go with the Premier Pass.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think if you
can afford Pixie Dust, you can premiere the Premier Pass. I'm just saying,
I think if you have the money, you should get the VIP. To be quite honest, because then you're going to see multiple. You can do it all in one day. Not just the Magic Kingdom. You can do all 4 parks, or at least 3 of. I wouldn't probably use it for Animal Kingdom, but you could do 3 parks easily.
See, that's funny because that's the one that I would want to do the most VIP tour at.
Which one
is Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, feels like
you'd be gone in 45 minutes.
Feels like you get to walk back behind more attractions, though.
No. It's not that kind of thing. The VIP.
That sucks. Never mind.
It's just it's Fast Pass with a leader.
Oh well, that's
yeah.
Here I'm thinking, oh no, they're going to take me back to Rafiki's Planet Watch and like let me hold the animals.
No, that's the backstage pass. Yeah.
That's the express park to park that Rip never made it off the ground.
Sorry,
it must have been that. Was the best.
Unpixie dusted, Bobby. Though I know neither of these options really tickle your fancy, but if somebody were to ask you, a first timer for advice, which way are you leading them? If they're kind of like you that don't like to get up early, would you tell them to just buy the Lightning Lane? Or
actually, genuinely, if you are a first timer, and I'm not being facetious about this, like embrace this trip for what it is going to be: expensive, invest, just go whole hog. Yeah. Don't look back. And I'm being serious when I say if you're a first timer, go for the Premier Pass. Because at this point, get the deluxe reservation. Make sure that you're happy with this trip. Because what's going to happen is somebody's going to get hooked and you're going to want to keep coming back. So you want to make sure that you at least enjoyed it the first time. Okay.
But you know what? To your point, though, after you've done that and you've seen everything, then you might be less likely to pay for that kind of service.
Absolutely.
Because you've been accustomed to it. Yeah.
And you should get that opportunity to maybe experience it in that very positive way, where you are getting to see everything with the shortest line possible while not spending even the more thousands of dollars on a VIP tour. I'm not suggesting that I would ever spend that kind of money, but for a first timer, I can see it. For a millionth timer like me, hell no, I'm not spending the money on that. I might consider meeting my my family up for like an hour after rope drop. That'd be the best that I could do. Or if they'll do the pass, I'll buy in at whatever level they buy in at, just so that we're all on the same page. But outside of that, I'm not doing it for me and Amanda.
Yeah. No, and that's understandable. You live there.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm kind of more on Pat's speed. I'm not waking up to rope drop. Like I get to the park slightly after it's open, where the rope drop people have already ran in and the chaos has ensued, and then I'll kind of fill in with that second level of ride while everybody's trying to do the headliners. And I also have the multi-pass. I'll also buy the individual ride if I have to, if I see the long line. But there's no way. I want to clarify one. There's people that like literally will get up and stand in line 2 hours before the park opens.
No.
Which is ridiculous because
that's not what I meant by rope drop.
Yeah, it's like daylight savings time. Rope drop. You can't save the time. Like if you stood there 2 hours before it opened, you were standing in a line.
Yes.
you didn't save your time in the line. You were already in one.
Right.
You just did it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of be a little heady with these things and realize that there's a method to this. And like Becky said, she might come a half hour early if she stayed on property. Yeah.
There was one lady on TikTok who said that she like got in like a 5:30 workout and was at the park for 7:30 with like all her kids dressed up in all the different outfits and
I've
shit.
Seen that.
It was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. First of all, I think it's a lie, but I don't understand why anyone would ever want to put themselves through that early of a rope drop. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Those kids probably crashed out at 10:30 and were just miserable.
Maybe that's why.
Well, no, because I mean, I don't know, but
I will say that if it's like, so we do like an individual trip with each of our kids when they're like 5th or 6th grade, just one parent and one kid. And Josh took our current 6th grader, and they went to the West Coast parks, but it was like the first day he's like, this is absolutely insane. I can't, like, we hardly get the stuff done that we had planned, regardless of what we've, virtual queues and whatever. And so the second day they bought the multi-pass because he's like, it's just not worth it. We're not here long enough. And it's not the same as Disney where we've been there a lot of times. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you got to make it work for whatever type of trip you have and how many people are with you and how much you're willing to drop on it. Because if you already spent the money to do all of it and you're not going to enjoy it, and I've mentioned this before too. He and I have done the same thing when it's just the two of us on a trip, even like Six Flags. Like we were like, screw it, we're getting the top level, whatever, because I'm not waiting for any of this. So it just depends. But on a normal trip, we've done it all. We're just going to go and do what we do and get out. So enjoy the resort.
I like to throw out there, if you have like super young kids, like, preschool age, it might not be worth it to do either thing, because there's so many, there's 50 something attractions in Magic Kingdom. There's things that you can walk through. There's the little shows. If you get there like relatively early, like within a half hour after parks open, you can just walk on and do these lower level things and knock those out. You can probably see 10 things that don't have lines anyway. So if you have super small kids, like, and you don't carry yourself to like do Space Mountain or something like that, then hey, show up, right? It's a Small World. I mean, and just enjoy it. This, or do what Becky's kids wanted to do: rope drop and go to freaking Tomorrowland. But there won't be a line.
Still don't do that. Still don't do that.
But I mean, no, seriously, if you don't want to pay and this is the way you can make it work for your budget, then maybe that is the best, and just you can still sleep in and not worry about it. But if you got like the preteens and the tweens and all that stuff, they're going to want to do the thrill attractions. You're going to kind of have to bite the bullet one way or the other, money or time. Yeah,
I think it's the leftover of the pixie dust, but it makes sense to do Tomorrowland Speedway to me, like first thing, because then like you're getting most of the gas smell. Like you don't have to be around it all day while it's like building.
What was in that pixie dust? Yeah,
I think there's one thing to note: if you're not going to rope drop and you're just going to get there late, like mid morning, and you don't buy the multi-pass, don't expect to ride a lot of attractions.
Yeah, mid morning is different than within a half hour after public open.
Yeah,
like if you're showing up at 11 o'clock, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean you're going to wait. You're going to wait in lines, a lot of lines. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there is a method to this, so keep that in mind. But this is what we would say for Magic Kingdom. This may not work at the other 3 parks, and I believe next show we'll just talk about one of those others. If you want to know when that episode airs, well, hit those notifications and you'll be notified. If you like this show, hit like because it really helps out our channel and pushes us up in those YouTube algorithms. Consider subscribing because it's free to do so, and we'd really appreciate it. For everybody here at Knot Club 33, have an awesome day.